Everyone wants the best that life can offer to be happy, healthy, safe, and successful. For many, spirituality provides the balance needed to live well.
But beyond religious traditions, an ancient wisdom called Kabbalah seeks to provide the key towards how we can make the universe and life bring us greater fulfillment.
Now, here to give us a window into how we can deepen our understanding of the universe via Kabbalah is Kabbalah instructor Sarah Weston. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is
Sarah,
interesting
good
stuff,
morning.
isn't it, Pinky? I mean, we were just
Yes.
discussing how interested we both were to find out a little bit more about Kabbalah, and this is the opportunity right here.
Imagine a happy life, a good balance. What is sort of the basic concept of Kabbalah?
The basic concept of Kabbalah is this is an ancient spiritual wisdom that gives us the tools and teachings and understanding to improve our life.
Right.
One of the major misconceptions is that it's not a religion.
There, let's get that out of the way, because that's how I felt about it.
Yes.
I mean, do we need to change religions in order to practice or learn from
No,
Kabbalah?
absolutely not. There's people who study who are Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, Catholic, Protestant. There are people of all different religions who study. Kabbalah is as much of a religion as gravity is.
Right.
Gravity applies, the physical laws of the universe, like gravity, apply to everyone, regardless of what religion they are, regardless of where you live, of what you choose to do. And so if you said, I don't believe in gravity today, and you go and jump out a window, it's going to affect your life.
Right.
Kabbalah is the same thing. It's the spiritual laws of the universe that govern the human soul.
So it can be on top of your religion, whatever it is
Exactly.
you believe in. But does that help your religion to understand your religion better?
It deepens your connection to the universe. So if you're looking for a deeper connection with the Creator, with God, with clarity, with meaning in your life, Kabbalah can direct you on a path that will help you get there.
Nice.
I'm curious to know, I mean, where did it all begin for you? How did you take an interest, and how did you find yourself, with a deep appreciation for the teachings?
Well, I was very skeptical. I was living in New York at the time, and I saw a friend who had a red string, and it's one of the tools for protection, and I asked her about it, and she couldn't answer any of my questions. So I went to an introductory lecture, like the one that we're having tonight, and the first thing they told me when I walked in was, don't believe anything we tell you, and don't believe anything you read. You have to test it out for yourself.
It's not much of a selling point, really, is it? Were they selling it, or were they? Or
Well,
they were?
exactly. The proof is in the pudding. You find out what's true by testing it out, not because you heard it from someone somewhere else.
It's not rammed down your throat.
Exactly, exactly.
But if I were interested to learn more about Kabbalah, what's the first thing you're going to teach me?
It would be that we can take responsibility for everything in our life. Nothing happens by coincidence.
Really?
Everything happens for a reason. And so if I can't connect the dots in my life, it's because I don't have clarity. I can't see things. But it's not about right or wrong. But everything I do brings more light into my life so that I can see my own path clearly for myself.
So it's almost like saying you're responsible for all your
everything.
actions and anything that happens to your
Completely.
life in the past, the present, and the future.
It's completely empowering like that.
I see.
There's a reason why Sarah's here today. There's a reason in our lives. This is going to be a major turning point for us, I think. How do you begin to study or practice the teachings? People who are sort of resonating with what you're talking
Right.
about now, might be interested in actually furthering their study and seeing if it's something that can work for them. How can they start?
There's many different ways. Tonight we have a lecture that's for beginners or advanced people. It's at 7:30 at the Mandarin.
Right.
There's online classes. We have a study group in Manila that does a course that's step by step on how to study and how to connect. Because all the different spiritualities of the day talk about the same thing. Like every different type talks about achieving a higher level of consciousness, a greater level of awareness. But the difference with Kabbalah is that it gives us a step by step. This is an ancient spiritual practice and wisdom, and it gives us support with personal teachers, mentors, group study. We're doing a group meditation tonight.
I read somewhere though, Sarah, that it's one teacher per student. Is that true?
Every student has the option to work one-on-one with an instructor, but every teacher has many students.
Yeah.
But it's the one-to-one work that grounds the practice and the spiritual learning.
Right.
So, oh, okay. But if I were to learn it, how long is the process? I'm assuming it's for life.
Some people read a book and that's enough for them.
Really?
Some people come to a class and that's all they need. It depends on your level of how far you want to take it.
I see.
Okay, this is sort of interesting because I was boning up a little bit on it, cramming rather. I mean, this is like you say, it predates many of the religious practices that are out there now. But it was once sort of reserved for an elite group of people, for an exclusive group of people. Where did that sort of turn and change?
That's a good question.
Where, I mean, it sounds to me like it was something that was for the appreciation of scholars, of
Right,
people
if
who
you
had
had
higher
to-
learning.
exactly.
But now it seems to be something
Open to
that
everyone.
everybody should be learning.
Well, it says that now we're in the age of Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in a time when the energy in the universe is open for people to study and learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a cell phone and described it to someone 500 years ago,
Yeah.
and you told them that you could talk to someone on the other side of the world in seconds,
Right.
they
You'd
would
be in
think
a padded jacket. wouldn't you?
exactly, and that's why Kabbalists were persecuted for centuries when they used to try to teach this, because it was too advanced
Right.
for the consciousness of humanity at the time.
Okay, so is it going to help everybody? Can a child study this?
We have Kabbalah for children.
Yeah?
Everyone. There's
Is there
no
a best
limitations.
age to study Kabbalah?
It's never too late.
Really?
Or too early?
Yeah, exactly. It's
right.
for anyone who wants to make a change in their life, who wants to connect to something more.
And many of your because you're an instructor, many of
Right.
your students, how often do they come and see you?
Everyone is different. Some people like to connect once a month, some people connect once a year, some people I haven't heard from in years, and some connect on a daily basis.
And it must bring you so much pride and happiness when you have your students come back to you and tell you, this has
They've
changed
their
my life. Yes.
You know, I'm here because it changed my life.
How did it change yours? Can you share that?
It completely changed the way that I saw, the way that I thought about things, the way I viewed everything. I used to be a complete victim to life. I blamed my parents, I blamed everyone for everything that happened to me. I didn't take any responsibility.
Right.
And it completely changed the way that to see things in a different way, because Einstein defines insanity as doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result.
This from a guy who wore exactly the same suit every single day of the week, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Are there, I don't know, can you sort of distill some of the teachings into some very basic tenets that you guys live by? Are there key principles that you can sort of enumerate the same way that maybe the Ten Commandments are there for people who practice
The Ten Commandments are actually based on the 10 levels of energy of the
Okay,
10
let's go through
Sefirot.
those.
But
Take some notes
some
here.
of the some of the basic principles are the laws of cause and effect. That every thought, every emotion, every action that I put out in the universe comes back to
Wow.
me. There's the
That's
concept
true.
of bread of shame, that I need to earn things that I want in my life. That if I take something, if I go after it and I haven't earned it, then it's impossible for me to keep it. So when someone steals, then they're going to have the effect of being stolen from.
Right.
If we take something that's not ours, it leaves us.
Yeah.
So if relationships don't work out, if a business doesn't work out, and the person says, why? I tried everything. And the consciousness, the seed about that wasn't right.
Okay.
You don't suddenly say a mango tree appeared in my yard. You know, there's a process for it to get there.
Right.
With everything, there's a process. With cancer, with businesses failing, everything working right, suddenly it goes wrong. Just because we didn't see the process because we weren't aware of it,
Right.
doesn't mean it wasn't there.
It's interesting, some of the concept you talk about, I can see some very clear parallels between Dharma, Buddhism, and there's also obviously very clear connections to the Christian faith and,
Exactly.
and such.
Because all spiritual teachings are essentially in line. That's why there's no difference with either of them. So, you know, whatever path someone chooses to take, as long as it makes them a better person, is amazing. This is just one of the paths. It's open to study for people who want to try it and see if this is something that would work for them.
Is it simple for someone like me to try to learn Kabbalah? Would it be simple? Or does this take a lot of your time or a lot of your concentration, dedication?
No, it's, you learn one thing, one teaching, and you apply it. You learn that, today I've decided I'm going to watch my anger. I don't want to be jealous today. Today I want to work on taking responsibility, whatever it is. And that consciousness, that awareness is what changes everything, because problems cannot be solved with the same consciousness that created them. It's impossible. So if someone says, I have a problem to get married, you're not going to ask someone who's not married how to solve their problems.
Right.
So it's about learning and being more aware and conscious of everything I do and the effect of all of my actions.
I know. This is sort of very in the news at the moment, or it gets talked about a lot, because a lot of Hollywood celebrities seem to be talking about how Kabbalah has helped them sort of ground them maybe a little more, or maybe help them appreciate where they are now. Why do you think it is that it's so as popular as it is with the Hollywood set?
It gives people a different perspective on life, and at the center there's one of the major precepts is not to judge. And so no matter what someone's done in their life, you don't want to pass judgment on them. So they really feel a space where they can come to the center and they can be open, and they won't be judged for who they are. They're simply accepted for being a soul like everyone else that's trying to improve their life.
All right.
Are you sold?
Absolutely.
Let's do a little bit more reading. But like Sarah said, I mean, you just have to be interested. Yeah, you have to be interested to put things to the test and see if it works for you.
Imagine a balanced life. And it talks about ego, letting go of your ego. That's the root cause of a lot of problems. Sharing and receiving.
And it's a great selling point. Just don't believe anything we're telling you. You try it for yourself and see if it works for you.
I think you've been studying already.
It's just right there. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And we hope we gave our audience some insights on Kabbalah. It sure helped us. Thanks again, Sarah.